Have you ever wondered if the very thing you believe is helping you might actually be slowly hurting you? We live in a world where health advice is everywhere, and supplements are pushed at every corner. Pills, powders, capsules, each promising energy, strength, and longevity. But what if one of those vitamins you casually swallow every morning is the very thing that could be draining your vitality instead of fueling it? There is a vitamin, one that almost everyone has heard about, one that is sold in every pharmacy and health store, that when taken recklessly can work against your body instead of for it. See, nature never intended for us to take nutrition in isolated synthetic forms. Our bodies are designed to recognize food, not chemicals made to look like food. Yet, many people are convinced that more is better, swallowing massive doses of something they barely understand, all because marketing told them it was essential. Here's the truth. Too much of this so-called healthy vitamin doesn't make you stronger. It can trigger imbalances, weaken your system, and create side effects no one warned you about. Think about it. If you pour water onto a plant, it thrives. But if you flood it with too much water, the roots rot, the leaves die, and the plant collapses. Your body is no different. It requires precision, balance, and wisdom, not overload. Books like The China Study and Nutrition and Physical Degeneration remind us of something simple yet profound. Cultures that relied on natural whole foods had thriving health without needing a single synthetic pill. They received nutrients in perfect ratios, designed by nature, not by laboratories. And here we are today, swallowing megadoses of vitamins, believing we are outsmarting biology. But the body is smarter than all of us. So when I say, never touch this vitamin in your life, I'm not asking you to live in fear. I'm asking you to think, to question, to pause before buying into the idea that health comes in a bottle. Because real strength doesn't come from swallowing something artificial. It comes from living in alignment with how your body was created to thrive, through natural foods, sunlight, rest, movement, and balance. Maybe the most powerful step you can take for your health is not adding more, but removing what doesn't belong. That one vitamin you thought you needed might actually be the thing holding you back. Protect your body, respect its wisdom, and trust that health is never built on shortcuts. It is built on truth. Why certain vitamins can actually harm your body when taken the wrong way. That's something most people never stop to question. We've been trained to believe that if something is labeled as healthy, then the more of it we take, the healthier we'll become. But health doesn't work that way. Let me ask you this. If you need a small flame to light a room, would you bring in a blazing wildfire instead? No, because too much of a good thing can quickly turn destructive. The body is designed with delicate systems of checks and balances. Every nutrient plays a role, but only in the right proportion, at the right time, and in harmony with other nutrients. When you isolate one vitamin, pull it away from its natural partners in food, and then dump it into your body in high doses, it no longer behaves like a helper. It starts acting like an invader. Instead of nourishing you, it stresses your system, pushing certain processes into overdrive while leaving others behind. For example, some vitamins are fat-soluble, meaning they don't simply wash out of your body the way water-soluble ones do. They build up, little by little, until what once was considered support turns into toxicity. Symptoms creep in slowly: fatigue, irritability, digestive problems, even damage to your organs. And here's the shocking part. Many people experiencing these issues never connect them to the vitamin they trusted because they can't imagine something labeled healthy could be the source of harm. This is why the idea that vitamins are harmless is so dangerous. A small imbalance can create a chain reaction. One deficiency leads to another, and one excess blocks the absorption of something else your body desperately needs. It's like tuning an instrument. If one string is too tight, the whole song is off. Your body is that instrument. Health is the music. So the danger doesn't come from the vitamin itself, but from how it's used. Out of context, out of proportion, without wisdom. When you take it the wrong way, you're no longer helping your body. You're quietly working against it. That's the risk no one talks about. And that's why you have to approach supplements not with blind faith, but with understanding. The difference between natural food-based vitamins and synthetic supplements is something most people overlook, yet it changes everything. When you eat an orange, for example, you're not just taking in vitamin C. You're receiving a package deal: bioflavonoids, enzymes, fiber, and other phytonutrients that all work together in harmony. Your body recognizes it instantly, like a key sliding perfectly into a lock. That's the wisdom of nature. Nutrients paired in perfect balance, designed to be absorbed and used with precision. Now compare that to a pill made in a factory. It might say vitamin C on the label, but often it's just one isolated molecule, stripped away from its natural family of compounds. It looks similar, but the body knows the difference. Without those natural cofactors, the absorption is incomplete, the effect is unbalanced, and the benefits are far weaker than what you'd get from the real thing. It's like trying to build a house with only nails and no wood. Something essential is missing. The problem goes even deeper. Many synthetic vitamins are created from substances that have nothing to do with food at all. Coal tar, petroleum, or chemicals altered in a lab to mimic the structure of a natural nutrient. They may look identical under a microscope, but your body is not fooled. It responds differently. Sometimes it can use them partially, sometimes not at all, and in some cases, it even treats them like a foreign object, leading to stress rather than support. Whole foods deliver vitamins in the exact ratios your body expects. Synthetic supplements often deliver them in megadoses, unbalanced and unnatural. Imagine drinking just the caffeine from coffee without the antioxidants, minerals, and compounds that soften its effect. You'd feel jittery and wired instead of alert and focused. That's what synthetic vitamins can do: push one pathway while neglecting the rest. When you understand this difference, it becomes clear why people in traditional cultures thrived on whole foods alone, without a single pill or capsule. Their health was rooted in real nutrition, not imitations. And the closer you move toward food-based sources, the closer you move toward balance, energy, and true vitality. How over-supplementation can backfire and damage your health is something that almost no one thinks about until it's too late. We live in a culture of more is better. More money, more comfort, more convenience, and that mindset spills over into health. If one pill helps, then 2 must be better. If 2 help, then 10 must be amazing. But the body doesn't work on that kind of math. Think about water. You need it every single day, and without it, you die. But if you drink gallons in one sitting, your body can't handle it. You dilute your electrolytes, overwhelm your kidneys, and you can actually die from too much water. The same principle applies to vitamins. They are essential in small, balanced amounts. But when you force-feed your body massive doses, the very thing meant to keep you alive begins to work against you. The effects often creep in silently. A person might take large amounts of a fat-soluble vitamin, thinking it will boost their immunity, only to end up with joint pain, headaches, or liver stress. Another might overdo water-soluble vitamins, believing they're safe because the body just pees out the excess. But they don't realize the constant overload can irritate the digestive system, create imbalances, and put unnecessary strain on the kidneys. Over-supplementation doesn't just affect the vitamin you're taking, it disrupts the whole network of nutrients. Too much of one can block the absorption of another. It's like cranking up one instrument in an orchestra until it drowns out the rest. The music turns into noise, and instead of harmony, you get chaos. The most dangerous part? You don't always feel the damage right away. For weeks or months, you might even feel better. But slowly, as your system gets pushed off balance, symptoms emerge. Fatigue creeps in, digestion weakens, mood swings appear, and you're left confused, because the very supplement you thought was helping you is now part of the problem. The truth is, your body doesn't thrive on excess. It thrives on balance, proportion, and rhythm. Health is not about dumping more into your system, but about giving it exactly what it needs. No more, no less. When you learn that lesson, you stop chasing more and start respecting the wisdom of enough. The hidden risks behind popular vitamins people take without thinking are perhaps the most overlooked danger in modern health culture. Walk into any pharmacy and you'll see shelves lined with colorful bottles, each one promising energy, beauty, or longevity. They're marketed like magic bullets, quick fixes for every problem you can imagine. And because they're sold so openly, people assume they must be completely safe. But that assumption is exactly what gets so many into trouble. Take the example of multivitamins. Millions of people swallow them daily without ever asking, "Do I really need this?" Most of the time, those pills are packed with synthetic forms of nutrients, often in amounts that don't match human needs at all. Sometimes they contain fillers, additives, or cheap ingredients that the body barely absorbs. People trust the label, but the label doesn't always tell the whole story. Some popular vitamins are pushed so aggressively that they feel almost mandatory. You've probably heard phrases like, "everyone should take this," or "you can't live without that." But the truth is, not everyone needs the same thing. For one person, a certain vitamin might correct a deficiency. For another, the exact same dose could cause imbalances. Health is not one size fits all, yet marketing convinces us to act as if it is. The risks don't just stop at wasted money. Some vitamins, when taken casually and in excess, can damage organs, disrupt hormone balance, or interfere with how other nutrients are processed. And because the side effects are often subtle, like fatigue, mood swings, or digestive discomfort, most people never realize their health habit is part of the problem. They keep swallowing, unaware of the quiet storm building inside. Here's the most important truth. Just because something is popular doesn't mean it's safe. History is full of examples where the crowd rushed towards something that later proved harmful. Health is not about following the crowd. It's about listening, learning, and questioning. Every pill you put into your mouth should be backed by understanding, not just by trend. So the next time you see a vitamin advertised as a miracle, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly something my body needs, or is it just another product being sold to me? That single question could save you from months or even years of unnecessary harm. Why listening to your body is more powerful than following trends is a truth that has been forgotten in today's noisy world. Everywhere you turn, there's advice. Magazines telling you what diet to try, influencers promoting the newest supplement, experts debating over what's good or bad this week. And in the middle of all that noise, the one voice we ignore is the most important one of all, our own body. Your body speaks every single day. It whispers through energy levels, digestion, sleep, mood, even the way your skin looks or how clear your mind feels. But most of us have been trained to ignore those signals. Instead of listening inward, we listen outward, to advertisements, to trends, to what everyone else is doing. We see a celebrity promoting a vitamin and think, if it works for them, it must work for me. Yet your body isn't their body. What strengthens one person could weaken another. Think about it. When you eat something that doesn't agree with you, your body tells you. When you're low on a nutrient, you feel it in fatigue, weakness, or poor recovery. But instead of honoring those signs, we reach for a pill we saw in a commercial, hoping it will silence the symptom rather than address the root. That's not health. That's chasing comfort at the cost of wisdom. The body is far more intelligent than any label or trend. It knows what it needs and it sends signals to guide you. But to hear it, you must slow down and pay attention. Ask yourself, how do I feel after I take this? Is my energy steady or crashing? Is my mood balanced or irritable? Is my sleep deep or restless? These are answers no expert can give you. Only your body can. Trends change every season. One year fat is the enemy, the next it's a miracle. 1 month carbs are poison, the next they're essential. If you keep chasing trends, you'll always be lost, because the advice will never stop shifting. But if you anchor yourself in awareness, if you learn to trust the signals your body gives, you'll always have the clearest guide. The truth is, health isn't about what's popular, it's about what's personal. And when you make your choices by listening to your own body rather than following the crowd, you step into a level of wisdom and strength that no trend can ever provide. How true health comes from balance, not extremes. That is the lesson most people miss. In the pursuit of health, we often swing like a pendulum. One day we're told to avoid all fats, so we cut them completely. The next day we're told fat is the secret, so we load our plates with it. 1 month we're obsessed with protein, the next with fasting, then with superfoods or supplements. But health has never lived at the extreme ends. It has always thrived in the middle, where balance lives. Your body is a system of harmony. Every organ, every hormone, every cell works in rhythm with the others. If one part is pushed too hard or neglected too long, the whole system suffers. That's why health is not about megadoses, quick fixes, or radical restrictions. It's about giving the body a steady foundation: good food, restful sleep, natural movement, calmness of mind, and meaningful connections. None of these alone can keep you well, but together, in balance, they build a life of strength and vitality. Think of it like music. One instrument on its own can be beautiful, but it doesn't become a symphony until all the instruments play together in balance. If the drums are too loud or the violins too soft, the beauty is lost. Your health is that symphony. A supplement here, a nutrient there, a lifestyle choice in another corner, they all matter. But it is their balance that creates the music of true health. Extremes always promise quick results, but they burn out just as quickly. Balance doesn't give you fireworks, it gives you roots. It builds strength that lasts not for a day or a week, but for decades. And that is the goal. Not to chase the latest miracle, but to build a life where your body and mind can thrive naturally, steadily, and in harmony. So when you think about health, don't ask, what's the fastest way? Ask instead, what's the balanced way? Because in that question lies the secret to not just living longer, but living better. And when you understand that, you'll never again be fooled by extremes, because you'll know the truth. Real health is balance. Always has been, always will be.